For your data gathering techniques, you would use things like brainstorming, some of the things that we did talk about in some of our previous classes here, but brainstorming, interviews, focus groups, questionnaires and surveys, and also benchmarking. So brainstorming, that's where you generate and collect multiple ideas related to the project and product requirement. So you're just gonna, have a bunch of ideas, just document them all, and then go back through later and categorize them. For interviews, that's a good way to, kind of talk to a stakeholder directly and get their information, ask them questions. You could even record responses. They're typically involve multiple interviews or multiple interviewees. And it could be people like sponsors, executives, subject matter experts, people like that could conduct or also be part of the interviews. So they're definitely also useful for obtaining confidential information as well. Sometimes, if there's, confidential information or something that, maybe a person isn't able to or doesn't want to share in a larger group like you might have with brainstorming, then that one-on-one interview can kind of help, get that information. And if you don't take that step to do that, to find that information, then, you could miss out on an important requirement later on. Focus groups, again, we've talked about those, but just as a reminder, they bring together pre-qualified stakeholders and subject matter experts to learn through their expectations and attitudes about the proposed product, service, or result. And typically a trained moderator would guide the group through an interactive discussion designed to be more conversational than a one-on-one interview. Questionnaires and surveys are typically like written questions, and they're designed to kind of quickly accumulate information from a large number of respondents. So if you have maybe a very big project or you have a lot of people to get input from, that would take a long time to do individual interviews or to get everybody available and find time in their schedule to, have a focus group or brainstorming sessions, and you probably need more than one. So, you could create some type of questionnaire or survey to kind of gather some of that information. Especially they're especially useful with varied audiences when a quick turnaround is needed, or also when your respondents are going to be geographically dispersed. And it can be used to do statistical analysis as well. So if you send out a questionnaire and it has, would you prefer A, B, C, D, then you can kind of weigh out some options and see which one, what would be the biggest preference, for example. And then benchmarking is going to involve comparing actual or planned products, processes, and practices to those of comparable organizations to identify best practices and also generate ideas for improvement and provide a basis for measuring performance. So organizations compared during benchmarking can be internal or external. So you would look at how other organizations are managing similar projects, or what their requirements look like, and that's going to give you an idea and help you kind of identify those best practices or help generate ideas.